You probably don't know this, but the Cullen family has an unpleasant reputation on the reservation. Actually, I did know that, I informed him in a hard voice. This surprised him. But that reputation couldn't be deserved, could it? Because the Cullens never set foot on the reservation, do they? I could see that my last and subtle reminder of the agreement that both bound and protected his tribe put him up short. That's true, he acceded, his eyes guarded. You seem well informed about the Cullens, more informed than I expected. I stared him down. Maybe even better informed than you are. He pursed his thick lips as he considered that. Maybe, he allowed, but his eyes were shrewd. Is Charlie as well informed? He had found the weak chink in my armor. Charlie's like the Cullens a lot, I hedged. He clearly understood my invasion. His expression was unhappy but unsurprised. It's not my business, he said, but it may be Charlie's. Though it'll be my business again if I think that it's Charlie's business, right? I wondered if he understood my confused question as I struggled not to say anything compromising, but he seemed to. He thought about it while the rain picked up against the roof, the only sound breaking the silence. Yes, he finally surrendered. I guess that's your business too. I sighed with relief. Thanks, Billy. Just think about what you're doing, Bella, he urged. Okay, I agreed quickly. He frowned. What I meant to say was, don't do what you're doing. I looked into his eyes, filled with nothing but concern for me, and there was nothing that I could say. Just then the front door banged loudly, and I jumped at the sound. There's no picture anywhere in that car. Jacob's complaining voice reached us before he did. The shoulders of his shirt were stained with the rain, his hair dripping as he rounded the corner. Billy grunted, suddenly detached, spinning his chair around to face the sun. I guess I left it at home. Jacob rolled his eyes dramatically. Great. Well, Bella, tell Charlie. Billy paused before continuing. That we stopped by, I mean. I will, I muttered. Jacob was surprised. Are we leaving already? Charlie's gonna be out late, Billy explained as he rolled himself past Jacob. Oh, Jacob looked disappointed. Well, I guess I'll see you later then, Bella. Sure, I agreed. Take care, Billy warned me. I didn't answer. Jacob helped his father out the door. I waved briefly, glancing swiftly toward my now empty truck, and then shut the door before they were gone. I stood in the hallway for a minute, listening to the sound of their car as it backed out and drove away. I stayed where I was, waiting for the irritation and anxiety to subside. When the tension eventually faded a bit, I headed upstairs to change out of my dressy clothes. I tried on a couple of different tops, not sure what to expect tonight. As I concentrated on what was coming, what had just passed had become insignificant. Now that I was removed from Jasper's and Edward's influence, I began to make up for not being terrified before. I gave up quickly on choosing an outfit, throwing on an old flannel shirt and jeans, knowing I would be in my raincoat all night anyway. The phone rang and I sprinted downstairs to get it. There was only one voice I wanted to hear. Anything else would be a disappointment, but I knew that if he wanted to talk to me, he'd probably just materialize into my room. Hello? I asked breathless. Bella, it's me, Jessica said. Oh, hey, Jess. I scrambled for a moment to come back down to reality. It felt like months rather than days since I'd spoken to Jess. How was the dance? It was so much fun, Jessica gushed. Needed no more invitation than that. He launched into a minute-by-minute account of the previous night. I ummed and ahed at the right places, but it wasn't easy to concentrate. Jessica, Mike, the dance, the school, they all seemed strangely irrelevant at the moment. My eyes kept flashing to the window, trying to dodge the degree of light behind the heavy clouds. Did you hear what I said, Bella? Jess asked, irritated. I'm sorry, what? I said Mike kissed me. Can you believe it? That's wonderful, Jess, I said. So, what did you do yesterday? Jessica challenged, still sounded bothered by my lack of attention. Or maybe she was upset because I hadn't asked for details. Nothing really. I just hung around outside to enjoy the sun. I heard Charlie's car in the garage. Did you ever hear anything more from Edward Cullen? The front door slammed, and I could hear Charlie banging around under the stairs, putting his tackle away. I hesitated, not sure what my story was anymore. Hi there, kiddo, Charlie called as he walked into the kitchen. I waved at him. Just heard his voice. Oh, your dad's there. Never mind. We'll talk tomorrow. See you in Trig. See you, Jess. I hung up the phone. Hey, Dad, I said. He was scrubbing his hands in the sink. Where's the fish? I put it down into the freezer. I'll go grab a few pieces before they freeze. Billy dropped off some of Harry Clearwater's fish fry this afternoon. I worked to sound enthusiastic. He did? Charlie's eyes lit up. That's my favorite. Charlie cleaned up while I got dinner ready. It didn't take long until we were sitting at the table eating in silence. Charlie was enjoying his food. I was wondering desperately how to fulfill my assignment, struggling to bring up the subject. What did you do with yourself today? He asked, snapping me out of my reverie. Well, this afternoon I just hung out around the house. Only the very recent part of this afternoon, actually. And I tried to keep my voice upbeat, but my stomach was hollow. And this morning I was over at the Cullens. Charlie dropped his fork. Dr. Cullen's place? He asked in astonishment. I pretended not to notice his reaction. Yeah. What were you doing there? He hadn't picked his fork back up. Well, I sort of have a date with Edward Cullen tonight, and he wanted to introduce me to his parents. Dad? It appeared that Charlie was having an aneurysm. Dad, are you alright? You are going out with Edward Cullen? He thundered. Uh-oh. I thought you liked the Cullens. He's too old for you, he ranted. We're both juniors, I corrected, though he was more right than he dreamed. Wait, he paused. Which one is Edwin? Edward is the youngest, the one with the reddish brown hair. The beautiful one, the godlike one. Oh, well, that's, he struggled. Better, I guess. I don't like the look of that big one. I'm sure he's a nice boy and all, but he looks too mature for you. Is this Edwin your boyfriend? It's Edward, Dad. Is he? Sort of, I guess. You said last night that you weren't interested in any of the boys in town. But he picked up his fork again, so I could see that the worst was over. Well, Edward doesn't live in town, Dad. He gave me a disparaging look as he chewed. And anyway, it's kind of at an early stage, you know. Don't embarrass me with all of the boyfriend talk, okay? When is he coming over? He'll be here in a few minutes. Where is he taking you? I groaned loudly. I hope you're getting the Spanish Inquisition out of your system now. We're going to play baseball with his family. His face puckered and then he finally chuckled. You're playing baseball? Well, I'll probably watch most of the time. You must really like this guy, he observed suspiciously. I sighed and rolled my eyes for his benefit. I heard the whir of an engine pull up in front of the house. I jumped up and started cleaning my dishes. Leave the dishes. I can do them tonight. You baby me too much. The doorbell rang, and Charlie stalked off to answer it. I was half a step behind him. I hadn't realized how hard it was pouring outside. Edward stood in the halo of the porch light, looking like a male model on an advertisement for raincoats. Come on in, Edward. I breathed a sigh of relief when Charlie got his name right. Thanks, Chief Swan. Edward said in a respectful voice. Go ahead and call me Charlie. Here, I'll take your jacket. Thanks, sir. Have a seat there, Edward. I grimaced. Edward sat down fluidly in the only chair, forcing me to sit next to Chief Swan on the sofa. I quickly shot him a dirty look. He winked behind Charlie's back. So I hear you're getting my girl to watch baseball. Only in Washington, with the fact that it was raining bucket has no bearing on the playing of outdoor sports. Yes, sir, that's the plan. He didn't look surprised that I told my father the truth. He might have been listening, though. Well, more power to you, I guess. Charlie laughed, and Edward joined in. Okay, I stood up. Enough humor in my expense. Let's go. I walked back to the hall and put on my jacket. They followed. Not too late,